What does one food and wine reader have in common with Randy Macho Man Savage? They were both kicked out of Waffle House. The reasons behind these ejections, however, were shockingly different. Waffle House is famed for remaining open following natural disasters. In fact, nothing short of a worldwide pandemic typically sets the chain back for long. But even though Waffle House itself is almost always open, that doesn't mean you'll always be welcome. Sure, you may not be permanently banned, but there is something you can do that might get you kicked out. But in a restaurant chain known for its late-night brawls, what could possibly be so offensive that it would move employees to cut your breakfast short?
You ready to go, baby girl?
Yeah, Dad.
As it turns out, one anonymous food and wine reader found out for themselves. As they shared with the publication, in the late 90s they were at a Waffle House with friends, and one member of the party decided to keep feeding the jukebox. Not a problem in and of itself, perhaps, but what apparently got on somebody's nerves, or a lot of somebody's most likely, was that they played the same song over and over. No matter how much of a fan you are of the big beat genre, nobody wants to hear the Chemical Brothers' Block Rockin' Beats 14 times in a row. Waffle House asked them to kindly vacate the premises, and they complied. It is possible that the restaurant chain would be a bit more lenient with patrons who exercise their compulsion for musical redundancy with one of the songs from its own record label. Among these hash house hits are such catchy tunes as 844,739 Ways to Eat a Hamburger, Special Lady, There Are Raisins in My Toast, and I'm Going Back to Waffle House. Regardless, playing a song to death on the jukebox is not the only way a person has been ejected from this beloved chain. Most can agree that it's best to be on good behavior when you go out to eat, whether it's a swanky, Michelin-starred restaurant or a budget-priced breakfast joint. Still, not everyone's going to adhere to such dining etiquette. Take the late, great Randy Macho Man Savage, for example. He was once tossed out of a Waffle House in the 70s after an epic rumble that involved a fellow patron plus several Nashville police officers. There was also a police dog who definitely got the upper paw, as he ended the incident by sinking his teeth into Savage's rear end. The moral of this story, of course, is that despite Waffle House's reputation, being a brawling brood outside the squared circle does not pay.
Oh, yeah!
While Waffle House is hardly an exclusive establishment where you can't get through the door without conforming to a strict dress code, it does have the same expectations of its customers as every other public place. You can expect to be asked to leave or perhaps escorted off the premises by persons in uniform should you walk through the doors wearing something offensive and threatening your fellow customers. This may be obvious to most, but what's more unique about Waffle House is that its regulations are conspicuously displayed in every restaurant. Known as the House Rules, this list covers the basics, including obscene clothing and abusive behavior. The rules also cover things that are more Waffle House specific. One of these rules, for example, is that solo diners are expected to slide down the counter to make room for larger parties if necessary. It's also explicitly stated that booths are meant for groups of 2 or more. The Waffle House rules, however, do not threaten anyone with eviction for minor etiquette violations. In fact, even though the signage discloses that anyone eating on their own at a table may be asked to move to a counter seat if a group is waiting to be seated, it's presented as more of a request, explaining they would do the same for you. But again, it's your choice. You are the customer.